Well, welcome back to Philosophy Roulette. I just read probably one of the least expected things I was expecting to read. Newcomb University, a play in one act. Yeah. Right. So that was interesting. It was a little exciting. That was kind of fun. Yeah. So okay. Back to probably the much drier stuff next. We've got accuracy monism and doxastic dominance, a reply to Steinberger. I don't really want to do a reply because the problem is that implies that there's a bunch of background stuff that I will not have read. And same with reviews. So, yeah, beer. From space and time are applied to Markosian, pain and spatial inclusion, evidence from Mandarin. Well, I think this is stuff I've started to look at. Let's see what humans should say about tide-based systems, if we can. DOI.org, that doesn't have it. Why would that list it as having it? That's weird. Nope. Alright, so maybe we are looking at the Mandarin one. Let's see if it says here. It is here. How nice. Okay. So let's do some bookkeeping. So if you are watching live, you can type !paper and you'll get the link right to this Phil Papers webpage. And follow along if you so desire or just want access to the paper. Okie dokie. Okay, pain and spatial inclusion, evidence from Mandarin. So what did the Chinese tell us about the Chinese language? One of the many Chinese languages tell us about pain. Pain in English. I mean, already. I mean, is it pain in England? English? Is it pain in New York? New Yorkese? Like there's Brooklynese? Is it pain in Texan English? English has at least two distinct ways to report physical pain. There is predicative locution, my back hurts, my back is painful. The surface grammar is that of attributing a state to a body part. There is also a locative locution, there is a pain in my back. I have a pain in my back. Alright, so at least two distinct ways. So we're saying a predicative, like something about the back. The back hurts, the back is painful, or a locative, there is a pain in the location of my back. Okay. On the level of surface grammar, this locution postulates there is a thing, a pain, which can be possessed by a subject. Yeah, it's a property or style thing. And asserts that it is spatially located within a part of the body where the location is usually signaled by the prepositional phrase in NP, noun phrase, in a noun phrase, like the back. Okay, the predicative locution is relatively neutral on what pains actually are. The locative form, by contrast, seems more committal. It treats pain as things that can be quantified over and can have spatial locations. So my back hurts doesn't say what pain actually is. It's a property of the back, and we don't know what it is. But saying there is a pain in the back treats pains as a thing that can that is someplace. From this locution has driven a number of philosophical debates. Really, what are we arguing over here? I'm not entirely sure that this is going to be. Well, we'll have to see. I bet there's something to be said here, but it seems just sort of we're arguing over semantics. Bodily theories of pain claim that pains are, in some important sense, things which are located in body parts. So I'm just Wittgensteinian, it's beetle in the box sort of nonsense to me. But I'm probably wrong about my interpretation anyway, so it doesn't matter. For example, many theories claim that pain experienced in part or in whole represents bodily damage. Damage is also the sort of thing that is located in our bodies, which means that these kinds of representationalism have a straightforward way to account for the locative form of pain reports. Okay, so pain as damage. All right, then these things start making sense. It's I register injury. The data could be called pain. Conversely, the locative form has been used in arguments against, for example, adverbial theories of pain, which have to treat the locative form as a paraphrase. Adverbial theories are thought of not as squaring well with our ordinary conception of pain, appealing to the locative form tie notes. We certainly speak as if pains are felt objects which are located in sundry parts of our bodies. Sometimes we do. I mean, sometimes it's just failures of our bodies to do something, which would be a very different sort of, when you get exhausted. Exhaustion is not a pain, it may just be an inability to act. More broadly, the debate about the locative form is relevant to debates about perceptual status of pain itself. The locative form, at least on the surface, would commit pains to being objects of sensation rather than just properties of objects like body parts. You see, I'm not sure about all, this seems to be putting a lot on the grammar here. I'm not sure if the grammar, alright, let me keep going before getting whiny about this stuff. Dady uses numerous examples of the locative form to suggest that something in our ordinary conception favors an understanding of pains as if they were objects of our perception. Indeed, the following two sentences seem to be at least syntactically parallel. I feel a pain in my leg. I see a tree in the garden. Whether this is in conflict with transparency theses that motivate intentionalism remains a contested question. Conversely, the locative form has raised persistent puzzles. Consider the following inference from Bloch. The pain is in my fingertip. The fingertip is in my mouth. Therefore, the pain is in my mouth. Something has gone wrong. Bloch himself suggests that the in of pain must significantly signify something other than spatial enclosure. Nordhoff agrees, noting numerous parallels in cases of non-spatial in. Ty disagrees, noting there are multiple spatial uses of in, and in 2002 and 2005 that some of these uses set up intentional contexts where substitution fails. Bain argues that there is no straightforward route from problematic arguments like Bloch's to a denial of an underlying metaphysical view on which pains are located. By contrast, Hyman and Nordhoff both suggest that pain can be solved by translating the locative form without remainder into the predicative, which in turn undermines the philosophical significance of locative motion. More recently, Reuter, Seinhold, and Sitzma appeal to pragmatic implicature to explain the puzzle and give empirical evidence that these implicatures are cancelable. They take this to support a bodily view of pain. In each case, while nominally about pain, the debate has turned on interpretations of various English language pain reports. Many English prepositions, including the preposition in, are opaque and overloaded with meaning, raising the possibility that these puzzles are an artifact of English grammar. Yeah, that's my concern. I don't quite know what we're reading into here. Cross-linguistic research has the potential to show which features of pain are artifacts of the English language and which are universal and might in turn be taken to be philosophically significant. Mandarin Chinese, well, this is a big might. This is a really big might. Might in turn to be philosophically in turn. That's not a small might, that's a big might. Mandarin Chinese is the world's most widely spoken native tongue, and so makes an excellent test case. No, I mean, just because a lot of people over there use something that does, I mean, a lot of people over here speak English, a lot of people over there speak Chinese. I don't know exactly why it's a test case. Anyway, but it's an interesting contrast one way or the other. Pain in Mandarin. The English word pain is translated into Mandarin either as tong or teng tong. The former is used either as a noun or as a verb, where the latter is only used as a noun. There is also a word tang, which I don't know how to do the diacritics at all, so I apologize for my terrible reading, which is predominantly used as a verb. Mandarin speakers from northern China tend to use the word tang, whereas those from southern tend to use the word tong. Okay. At first pass, the standard ways to discuss pain in Mandarin closely parallels the predicative locutions in Wo Bei Tang, back my, I guess 1SG, my back hurts. Yes, I don't even understand much of the Chinese grammar, so I apologize. Wo De Bei Heng Tong, my back is very sore, so you can do this standard, so you can translate it in a reasonable way to that pain in the back. My back is no, the back itself is sort of like a property of the back. Wo Beibu Shufu, my back isn't comfortable. My back is uncomfortable. On the other hand, there appears to be no straightforward equivalent of the locative form. Indeed, it would seem that pain reports in Mandarin cannot have many of the features of the locative form. The locative form for reporting on physical pain in English has the following 4 features. It uses a prepositional phrase. More importantly, it can take the preposition in as in my back. The use of the preposition in signals the body part where pain is located. Pain is countable. One can say a pain. It permits an existential construction. There is a pain. It permits a possessive construction, as I have a pain in my back. I mean, the back is a big thing, is the thing. It's like this, just from like my sort of gloss on this would be like, look, maybe we're just getting more specific about the pain. Like, it's not my whole back. My whole back is rather a large part of my body, and it's usually like in the lower back, and like so it's more the in is just being more specific than just saying there's a pain, like my back's in pain. That's a lot of back to be in pain. But especially when you just have lower back pain, and then you might say there's a pain in my back, and they say, well, where? And you say, oh, it's over here. Yeah. The surface grammar of the locative locution suggests that pain is analogous to physical objects whose location and space can be specified with the preposition in noun phrase. Pains are also treated as countable objects. We can use the existential construction, there is a pen, and the possessive construction, I have books, to talk about physical objects. It appears the parallel talk about pain is also licensed. You see, I'm feeling that the existential on this is just more of a particular, like a specific claim, and not this general existential claim. You're talking about trying to be more specific, and then blah blah. Alright, sorry, I keep saying the same thing. All 4 features of the locative locution of pain attribution that are present in English are impermissible in Mandarin. Indeed, corresponding sentences with the same surface grammar are not just odd, but in most cases flatly ungrammatical. I wonder how they specify like very specific locations of pain in Mandarin. If you just say in my back, like my back. If you can only just say my back hurts, maybe they've got more specific bodily terms in Mandarin. I don't know, because how would you'd say, like, do they have my back hurts, my lower back hurts, my like left lower back hurts? I guess you could do it. Yeah, you could be just much more specific about location. Both ways. All right, Mandarin does not have a similar construction to the prepositional phrase in noun phrase in English to report the location of pain. The location of pain is usually specified by the noun phrase in the predicative locution, which also acts as the subject of the sentence. Wo de du zi teng, my stomach hurts. However, Mandarin does use the preposition li, similar in meaning to English prepositions in or outside, in or inside, in specifying the location of concrete physical objects. Wo bao li yu yi bin shu. There is a book in my bag. Okay. In colloquial Mandarin, li is sometimes used in the particular phrase xin li tong to mean that one is in emotional pain. Wireless is going bonkers. Okay, mean that one is in emotional pain, though it's more common to leave out the word li. Okay, so you can say heartache, heart in ache. Interesting. My heart aches. Nevertheless, li is not usually used in a postpositional phrase in Mandarin to signal the body part affected by physical pain. Yeah, see, this looks like a specificity operator. That's why, at least that's what I'm hoping. I have no idea. In Mandarin, pain is not countable. One cannot say a pain. There's no a pain. In contrast, one can say a wound. In Mandarin, sensations are in general not countable, whereas things like wounds are. While English permits phrases such as an itch, a tickle, etc., direct renderings of these phrases are ungrammatical in Mandarin. While Mandarin has an equivalent to there is in English, that is you, it seems that such a construction cannot be used in the context of reporting sensations and their locations. Mandarin does not permit this existential construction with respect to pain. So there's an ache behind my ear. This is illegitimate, and maybe what the star means this. Mandarin does not permit with respect to pain. Okay, so you can't. This is like infelicitous. In contrast, the existential construction can be used in Mandarin with respect to concrete physical objects. There is a pen in my bag. There are pens in my bag. Yeah, so they're using the star to show the infelicity here. Okie dokie. That's fine. Mandarin does not permit possessive construction with respect to pain. Infelicitive, wo yu tong, I have pain. In contrast, the possessive construction can be used in Mandarin with respect to concrete physical objects. I have a pen, I have pens. Yeah, okay. The locative use of pain reports is defined by the four features outlined above. That is, pain can take the prepositional phrase in a noun phrase. In noun phrase, pain is countable. Pain can take the existential construction. There is a noun phrase. And for pain can take the possessive construction. Noun phrase have noun phrase. Given that all these four features are impermissible or absent in Mandarin, it is reasonable to conclude that Mandarin does not have the locative locution for reporting on physical pain that is employed in English. Okay. More complex cases. Mandarin is a complex language, and some locutions are more difficult to analyze. However, closer examination reveals that none support locative reading. Excuse me. Beer has fizz. First, Mandarin does not use postpositional phrases to indicate the location of pain. For instance, one can say, "Wo de yang jing." I should just not be reading this. Human tang. It's kind of fun though. Behind my eye hurts. You can say this. However, closer inspection reveals that postpositionals are primarily used when the pain body part has no name in the language. Okay, so they're saying like the dead space behind my eye, like the unnamed spot behind my eyes. So you can refer to things like in second order or something, like a meta reference. Thus understood, the location is still predicative, with the location informing serving to pick out an otherwise unnamed body part, of which hurting is predicated. Yeah. Second, the following phrase in Mandarin might appear to suggest that pain is countable. Yeah, see, you can do this. Again, like I was saying, the specificity matters here. And this is a specificity problem because they can't specify the thing that hurts. Second, the following phrase in Mandarin might appear to suggest pain is countable. Pain that is sudden and lasts for a short period. Yizeng tong. Okay. The word yizeng appears to be a fixed phrase referring to a short duration. The word zen, as used in yizeng tong, should not be treated as a classifier. For instance, it is odd to say, so infelicitous star again, Liang Zhen Tong, 2 short period pains, 2 sudden short pains. So apparently that you can't say that, but a short period pain, because maybe it's an unspecified period. But like once you have 2 of them, you've quantified over them, and they don't like that. Okay, So even if Mandarin has the phrase yi zheng tang, it does not mean that pain is countable or is treated as something that is quantifiable. Yeah, because in the one case it is an unspecified duration. When there's two of them, then you can't specify it, and so that would be quantifiable. Furthermore, the phrase yi zheng seems to be a fixed phrase. I apologize to all the Mandarin speakers out there for my pronunciation. To be a fixed phrase that functions like an adverb in the following construction: wo du zi yi zhen tang. My stomach hurt suddenly and for a short period. So this is... okay, it hurt, but then the suddenly refers to the stomach, not the pain, and for a short period, but that's the stomach that was doing something, so that's okay. Third, Mandarin does have the following locution, what can appear to be an instance of possessive construction where pain seems to be quantifiable. Wo yu dian tong, I hurt a bit. However, the phrase yu dian in this context functions as an adverb. This adverb can also be used to describe the intensities of sensations and emotions in general. Again, so a non-quantifiable sort of thing. The bit is it's an undefined amount. It's just some, but it's interesting. So, the phrase yu dian sometimes gets treated as the conjunction of a verb that is you plus a quantifier dian to mean have a bit of, there is a bit of something. For instance, one can say the following: guo li yu dian mi fan. Pot, and there is a bit of rice, there's a bit of rice in the pot. Equally, one can say there's a lot of rice with the phrase you quantifier, that is yu hen duo. In the case of describing the intensity of pain, yu dian is a fixed phrase which functions as an adverb to modify the verb tong. One cannot say the following: it's infelicitous stars. Wo yu hen duo tong, I have a lot of pain. Okay, because you can have a bit, but it's an undefinable bit. But I guess a lot would mean you're quantifying over different pains, maybe, and then you have actually sort of measured them. The above utterance is ungrammatical because Mandarin does not permit the possessive construction noun phrase you noun phrase with respect to a pair of or sensations in general, because then you'd have to be treating them as different and then quantifying them separately. I guess one can of course convey the meaning of I have a lot of pain in Mandarin with the predicative locution I hurt a lot. Again, this is it's just you are hurting, and you can quantify over you, I guess. Alright, so I'm probably butchering this. So a lot of pain, but you, in this case, the lot is going over the pain, and that's bad. But I hurt a lot is you are hurting, and that the lot refers to you, not the pain. So lots of hurt, right? Yeah. Like I have lots, and the something is the hurt, but it's not. There's lots of pains that I have. So, in sum, though Mandarin has a variety of more complex locutions regarding pain, none of them give evidence for a locative reading of pain. Okay, that's fine. There is considerable evidence that Mandarin Chinese lacks anything like the locative use of pain, assuming plausibly that the experience of physical pain itself is a cross-cultural universal. This suggests that the surface grammar of the locative form is philosophically misleading and should not be relied upon to support philosophical theses. What is the philosophical upshot of this result? Most at risk, we believe, are bodily views of pain which identify pains with bodily states, such as tissue damage. Also at risk are versions of representationalism on which pains are objects located in the body. For example, because pain experiences in fact represent tissue damage. Note that there is something of an ambiguity here in the way representationalist views are presented. As Tai notes, the term pain in one usage applies to the experience, and another applies to the quality represented insofar and only insofar as it is within the content of a pain experience. Insofar as the represented content is cashed out as a located bodily quality, representationalism is threatened. Conversely, representationalist views on which the represented object is the body or a relationship between a subject and the body should be unaffected. These stick more closely to the predicative locution in English, which is directly paralleled in Mandarin. Similarly, imperative views such as Klein's 2015, on which the location of the pain is fundamentally determined by the pained body part, should be unaffected. Furthermore, as we have noted, not only does Mandarin lack in the noun phrase construction to talk about pain, features 2 through 4, which pain treats as a countable object over which one can quantify, are equally poorly supported in Mandarin. As a result, this may well have broader consequences for the debate over perceptual theories of pain. This may reopen the door to pure predicative or adverbial theories of pain. These have been criticized precisely because they appear to be in conflict with the locative form of pain expressions in English. If those expressions are language specific, however, such constraints are less strong than they might appear. Our discussion also invites further empirical investigations into cross-cultural and cross-linguistic differences in people's conceptions of pain. A deflationary reading of the above would suggest that the puzzles about pain are due to quirks of the surface grammar of English. These quirks have misled English-speaking philosophers about the universal concept of pain. A more cautious reading might suggest that the linguistic differences represented differences in the concept of pain among different populations. There is independent evidence that English speakers have a bodily conception of pain. Adjudicating between the two possibilities requires further empirical research, some of which has already begun. Either way, our analysis is an example of how cross-linguistic work may help sharpen and clarify philosophical disputes which have been conducted largely in a single Indo-European language. Here we note that our argument does not rely on the claim that the locations for pain in English are untranslatable into Mandarin, nor do we intend to advance dubious claims about difference in pain experiences between English and Mandarin speakers. The point is instead metaphysical-philosophical. Much of the literature on pain has focused on the specific grammatical features that are associated with the locative form of pain reports in English. The fact that these do not feature and cannot occur in Mandarin should cast serious doubt upon that strategy. Careful discussion of English locution has an important place. There's the apologetics right here. Careful discussion of English locution has an important place in analytic philosophy, of course. We do not wish to disparage such work, yet cross-linguistic evidence can be an important check to make sure that we are focusing on features of the world rather than artifacts of our native tongue. Okay, so I was... Oh, how nice. See, the problem is I did not know that there were first-person... See, I don't know the vagaries, well, the non-vagaries of how Mandarin is represented in English, or shown translations are shown in English. But, okie dokie. Alright, that was kind of fun. I see what they mean that the Mandarin Chinese is a good counterexample to English, just because all the people in the English-speaking world does things one way, and then the other possibly most spoke language on the planet, which might just be Cantonese, I don't know. But in the Western world, English it just doesn't have it in Mandarin, so we shouldn't be relying on the grammar for that. It looks like, as they said, that this is attacking certain views that are held in Western the English-speaking world, but there are views that are actually more aligned, that would work with both the English and Mandarin. So perhaps, that's the upshot, is that the ones that over-focus on the grammar here have maybe missed the point. Okay. That's a nice, that's nice and neat, and it's good. Okay, that's it for this one. I guess I'm done for the night. I did 2. If I get real inspired, I might do a 3rd, but don't think that's going to happen as of right now. So I'll be back probably tomorrow morning, and thanks for watching. If you have a comment, leave it you can leave it in the comments below, or send me a message. Thanks, bye, have a good night, and stay safe.